you ever thought why you are being educated? I wonder if we have ever asked ourselves what education means. Why have you learned mathematics, geography, or what else? Is it not very important to find out why you are being crammed with information? What is the so-called education? Parents send you schools perhaps because they themselves have passed with examinations and taken various degrees. Why do we go through the struggle to be educated? Is it merely in order to get some job? Or is it the function of education to prepare us while we are young to understand the whole process of life? Having a job and earning one's livelihood is necessary. But is that all? Are we being educated only for that? Surely life is not merely a job, an occupation. Life is something extraordinarily wide and profound. It is a great mystery, a vast realm in which we function as human beings. If we merely prepare ourselves to earn a livelihood, we will miss the whole point. And to understand life is much more important than merely to prepare for examinations and become very proficient in mathematics, physics, or what else you will. Is it not important to ask ourselves why we are being educated and what does life mean? Isn't life an extraordinary thing? The birds, the flowers, the flourishing trees, the heavens, the stars, the river, and the fish therein. All this is life. Life is the poor and the rich. Life is the constant battle between groups, races, nations. It is also the subtle, hidden things of the mind. The envies, the ambitions, the passions, the fears, fulfillments, and anxieties. All this and much more is life. But we generally prepare ourselves to understand only one small corner of it. Many boys study merely to get a job, and that is their whole aim in life. They find a job, get married, have children, and then become more and more like machines. So is it the function of education to help us understand the whole process of life, or is it merely to prepare us for the best job? You may be able to read Bernard Shaw's play, you may be able to quote Shakespeare or Voltaire or some new philosopher, but if you are yourself not intelligent, if you are not creative, what is the point of education? So is it not important for you to find out how to be intelligent? Education doesn't consist in merely being able to read and pass exams. Any clever person can do that. Education consists in cultivating intelligence. By intelligence, I do not mean cunningness or trying to be clever in order to outdo somebody else. Intelligence surely is something quite different. It is the capacity to think freely, without fear, without a formula, so that you begin to discover for yourself what is real, what is true. There is intelligence when you are not afraid. But if you are frightened, you will never be intelligent. Fear comes when you think of what other people may say about you, or what your parents may say. You are afraid of being criticized, of being punished. When you are not popular in your school, in your surroundings, fear gradually creeps in. Fear is one of the barriers to intelligence. Most of us have fears in one form or another. Is it not possible to be in an environment where there is no fear, but rather an atmosphere of freedom? Not just to do what we want, but to understand the whole process of living. Life is really very beautiful. It is not this ugly thing that we have made of it. And you can appreciate its richness, its depth, its extraordinary loveliness only when you revolt against everything, against organized religion, against tradition, against the present rotten society, so that you as a human being find out for yourself what is true. Not to imitate but to discover. That is education. If one has fear, there can be no initiative in the creative sense of the word. To have initiative in this sense is to do something original, to do it spontaneously, naturally, without being guided, forced, controlled. It is to do something which you really love to do. It is very easy to conform to what your parents, society and teachers tell you. That is a safe and easy way of existing. But that is not living. Because if there is fear, decay, death, to live is to find out for yourself what is true. And you can do this only when there is freedom, when there is continuous revolution inwardly within yourself. If you have fear, then all this is shut out of your life. You become insensitive. If you have fear, you are bound by tradition, you follow some leader, or lose your dignity as an individual human being. Essentially, deeply, that should be the vital aim of education, to help you from childhood to be completely free of fear, so that when you go out into the world, you are an intelligent human being, full of real initiative. Initiative is destroyed when you are merely copying, bound by tradition, following a political leader or a religious swami. You are not encouraged to do this. No one tells you to question, to find out for yourself what is reality, truth, or what God is. We see that the world is caught up in endless wars. It is guided by politicians who are always seeking power. It is a world of lawyers, policemen and soldiers, of ambitious men and women, who all wanting positions and fighting each other to get it. There are so-called saints, the religious gurus with their followers. They also want power, position, here or in the next life. It is a mad world, completely confused. Everybody is against somebody, struggling to arrive at a safe place, a position of power or comfort. The world is torn by conflicting beliefs, by caste and class distinctions, by separative nationalities, by every form of stupidity and cruelty. And this is the world you are being educated to fit into. You are encouraged to fit into the framework of this disastrous society. It is only when you are constantly inquiring, constantly observing, learning, that you find truth, God and love. And you cannot inquire, observe, learn. You cannot be deeply aware if you are afraid. So the function of education surely is to eradicate inwardly as well as outwardly this fear that destroys human thought, human relationship and love.